Hi everyone, Jennifer Blevins-Smith with Integral Clinic Solutions, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Navigating the Business of Medicine. Today I want to talk about how prior authorizations and credentialing are linked together. I look at the information YouTube provides me, and so does my husband, bless his heart. He's my biggest supporter and he does a lot of this for me. But we found that some of my most watched videos are on credentialing and prior authorization processes. And that came to my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, I can do a video about how they're connected, because he was asking me, he's not in healthcare, if they're connected, thinking of different topics I could do videos about. And I was like, oh my goodness, yes, they are connected, they're linked, and we can talk about that. So that's what this video is about today. We're going to talk about how your credentialing status with insurance companies can directly affect or influence authorizations you're needing to see patients or you're trying to obtain to further treatment for patients. You heard me correctly. It can affect either patients coming into your practice to receive services, or it can directly affect how or what you can order to help patients as far as continuing some kind of research on a condition you're looking more into or trying to treat a certain condition you've identified. Participating with insurances is huge, and I have many other videos that talk about this. But if you are not participating with a patient's insurance, it can definitely influence how you treat a patient when it comes to ordering services, referring them for certain things. And it's just unfortunate, but it's true. And it doesn't mean that it can prevent you from doing something, not necessarily. It could just take longer to get to the place in order to be able to help the patient. So let's first talk about patients coming into your practice. If patients are coming into your practice and they don't have an insurance in which you're participating, it could be the entire insurance itself, like it could be all of the Medicaid or all of, well, we won't use Medicaid, all of Blue Cross or all of United Healthcare. Let's say you're not participating with them. This can be very difficult, but also it could be you accept United Healthcare or Blue Cross Blue Shield, but you are not participating with their specific plan, their service line in which they have their benefits through United Healthcare or Blue Cross Blue Shield. And that can influence it as well. So it's very important that whoever is scheduling your patients understands these differences, that either you're non-par with the entire insurance as a whole, or you're non-par with their specific plan. And hopefully I have other videos, you've watched them, you understand that you should be providing your front office, your scheduling staff with the resources so they can know which lines of service you can accept with different insurances, which insurances you cannot accept, etc. If it's an insurance or an insurance plan that you don't accept, most of the time, if the patient does not want to be cash price, cash pay, and they want you to bill their insurance, you need to get authorization from the insurance first before you see them. They need to give that stamp of approval, say, yes, we realize the patient's electing to see you, even though you're not in our network, and we are okaying that so that you can see them. Now, this can be done either through a referral, that their primary care or someone else is referring them to you and why they're referring them to you instead of someone who is in network, or it could be a prior authorization with the same information. Insurances have different requirements. Again, it's all individually based by insurance, so your staff would need to know what to look for and what to obtain. If the insurance grants you to see these patients and to bill the insurances out of network, one, the patient has to have out of network benefits, of course. And two, usually it's because maybe you're in an area where you have a specific focus or a specialty that is hard to find in their area. Maybe they would have to drive really far in order to get to someone else, so they'll give a temporary in-network status. There's a lot of different situations that this could happen. But again, just to get the patient in the door, you need to have some kind of authorization, whether it's a prior auth or a referral, to see the patient. Then when you see the patient, if there's any advanced imaging you need to do, you need to refer them for certain blood work that might need authorization, anything like that, you would then again need to go back to the insurance company and say, look, I know I'm not in network. I know that I need to order this in order to help the patient. And you have to justify the reason behind it, provide documentation, all of that, to see if they'll say, yes, even though you're out of network with us, we understand the need for these tests or this imaging, and we'll go ahead and approve it one time. There may be other situations where they're like, no, you're seeing a patient out of network and you maybe didn't have to get a prior authorization because the patient's insurance doesn't require it, and they were seen and they're saying, no, we're not authorizing this because the patient saw you as out of network. We didn't approve it. They chose to use their out of network benefits, and we're not going to authorize this. They need to go see a patient who is in network, and then we'll authorize it, possibly consider it if that provider orders it. So it kind of puts you in a really difficult situation. Again, it's not impossible, but it can delay things. And it also can change the way or the direction that you're going to be setting up a treatment plan for patients, or differential diagnosis, trying to work through your plan. So it's one of those things you need to know if you're out of network, if you're non-participating, if that patient needs an authorization or referral to be seen, if you're in a specialty that it's most likely you're going to need to be ordering additional blood tests, imaging, anything else, referrals to other specialists, you need to make sure that's not going to impact how the patient is going to be treated, okay? So getting patients in the door, you really need to make sure you're looking at their benefits, you're looking at what the insurances require, and that you understand it could affect their plan of care. Now, if a patient is in seeing you and for some reason either the insurance did approve it, or they were seen because they have out-of-network benefits, it didn't require a referral or authorization, and they're willing to pay their out-of-network benefits, the patient needs to be communicated to that there's a possibility anything that you are wanting to order to help them with whatever they're being seen for could be denied by coverage. Like, it could just automatically be ordered and you run the test, the blood test, whatever, but because they see the ordering provider is not in network with their insurance, they might say, this is going to your out-of-network benefits, or they could deny it completely and make the patient responsible. So that's a risk you take as well. Again, all insurances are different, so it's really hard to say this is exactly what could happen. I'm just giving you the possibilities here. And the point of all of this is to know that credentialing statuses with insurances and prior authorizations and even referrals directly correlate and relate. And it can influence patient care. It can delay patient care. It can make everyone very frustrated. It could be very expensive. You could lose money. The patient could lose a lot of money out of pocket having to pay for stuff. So it's really, in my opinion, if you're wanting to treat as many patients as possible, to get as participating with as many plans and insurances as possible. You don't always have control over this. Sometimes they have closed panels. Sometimes they just say, no, we're not going to accept you for whatever reason they give. It could be that they don't offer certain plans to you to participate, like you're participating with the insurance as a whole, but there's certain lines of service that they say, no, we only give this to certain people. There's just things that you don't have control over, but it's educating your internal staff, it's educating yourself, and helping educate the patients if they elect to be seen out of network to utilize benefits, that everybody knows their responsibilities, everybody knows what's the possibilities or restrictions that could come with it. If you have any questions or comments about this, please leave that in the comments below. Smash the thumbs up button if today's video was helpful, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Again, please share this video with anybody whom you feel is worthy. That's terrible, but anybody who you feel would benefit. And also, I have a credentialing course. If you're interested in this, I have a QR code. I'll leave it right here so you can scan it and look into it further. I think you would benefit from it a lot if you are new to credentialing and contracting. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.